Peace for Ukraine or Ukraine now. Russia, just go home.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
A lot of the landscapes at Hadrian's Wall are preserved on the peat bog and marsh, but as global warming takes place, climate change takes place. Dr. Andrew Burley. Hadrian's Wall, a race against time. Continue watching to find out more.
Wake up, please. There are warning signs of the end everywhere. Please take refuge in veganism, because it creates benevolent energy that'll protect you.
Animal liberation! Animal liberation! Animal liberation! Animal liberation! Animal liberation! Animal liberation!
Benevolent viewers, the friendly people of England greet you with open arms and hope that your beautiful surroundings serve as constant reminders of the heavenly blessings around you. I am Stuart. Welcome to today's program entitled Hadrian's Wall, a Race Against Time. Known as one of the 5 good emperors, Emperor Hadrian ruled the Roman Empire from 117 to 138 AD. As a leader, Emperor Hadrian was widely supported by his co-citizens. He would eat and sleep among commoners. During his rule, the Roman Empire was at its height, with increasing prosperity and stability. This allowed Emperor Hadrian to travel to the different provinces of Rome and personally inspect the projects that he had ordered. One of his most famous building endeavours, Hadrian's Wall, was built to defend against invasions. Stretching 80 Roman miles, or 117.5 kilometres, Hadrian's Wall runs east to west from Wallsend on the River Tyne to Bowness on Solway and has stood for almost 1,900 years. The construction of the wall was instructed by Emperor Hadrian after he visited the Roman provinces in 122 AD, and it took 6 years to complete. The original plan was to build it from stone or turf, and included a guarding post every mile, or 1.6 kilometres, known as a mile castle. Observation posts were studded along the stone wall every third of a mile. Hadrian's Wall was assembled by Roman soldiers with special experience in engineering, architecture and masonry, and it needed the labour of 3 Briton legions to complete. After each length of the wall was completed, the men would inscribe their cohort name in stones, called centurion stones.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Mali is one of them. Mali Penal Code. Those who injure or cause the death of animal people belonging to others, such as by throwing stones or other hard objects at them, will be subjected to punishment or imprisonment or a fine. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab tests, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
Unique in its construction, The eastern part of Hadrian's Wall was originally made from stone and runs 64 kilometres, ending at Newcastle upon Tyne. It measures around 3 metres wide and 4.4 metres tall. The western part of the wall was made of turf and spans 47 kilometres, ending at Bowness on Solway. This section measures some 6 metres wide. Turf was a trusted material and also helped to increase the speed of erecting the wall. Aside from mile castles and small gateways, there were also large fortresses that were built every 7 miles, or 11 kilometres. These fortresses spanned a maximum of 9 acres, 36,400 square metres, and were shaped like a playing card, with supporting facilities such as headquarters, housing for commanding officers, a place for storing grains, and accommodations for soldiers. The final wall consisted of 80 mile castles, 17 large forts, and innumerable observation towers. Along its sides, additional natural defence was provided by a river or steep cliff. In places without a natural defence system, deep ditches were created, called the vellum. The V-shaped ditches that make up the vellum lie to the north and south of the wall. Designated as part of the Frontiers of the Roman Empire World Heritage Site in 1987, Hadrian's Wall remains a protected border of the ancient Roman period, with its superior architectural engineering and history preserved. Because of the rich green fields, watering holes, and nooks and crannies there, much wildlife also reside at Hadrian's Wall, such as the house marten, wheatear, meadow pipit, and swallow individuals from the bird people kingdom, as well as the orange tip and the vulnerable large heath butterflies.
Vegan, 'cause we uphold kindness.
Generous viewers, let us pause for a moment to feed our bird friends in the garden. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television.
We pray for Ukraine, or you reign.
Welcome back to Hadrian's Wall, a race against time. Today, the wall that we see is estimated to be only 10% of the original Hadrian's Wall, due to stones being removed, destroyed, or buried over the centuries. One family owned 20 miles, or 32 kilometres, of the frontier until 1929. It is now cared for by some private ownerships, but the well-known sections are owned by organisations such as English Heritage and the National Trust. One particular individual, John Clayton, was keen on purchasing estates with portions of the wall. His interest began when his family obtained the mansion house of the Chesters, which had the Roman fort of Kilernum in its front garden. By the time of his passing, he owned 20 miles, or 32 kilometres of the wall, including 5 forts: Chesters, Carraborough, House Teeds, Vindolanda, and Carveran. After acquiring the sites, Mr. Clayton protected the wall against the removal of Roman stones for buildings and prevented other constructions from encroaching on the archaeological site. Around 1840, John Clayton began excavations at his home and organised these up until his passing. Today, there is a stretch of the frontier known as the Clayton Wall, which was consolidated and topped with turf for maintenance. From the Clayton collection, there are numerous inscribed and sculpted stones, coins, pottery and metalwork. His collection had approximately 11,000 findings, and the Clayton collection is now under the care of English Heritage.
Respected leaders of the world, you are the laws makers, so obey your good laws. Shut down forever all places that hurt, harm, murder animal people. Forbid all related cruelty. For God's sake, bless you.
"1900 years since its inception, Hadrian's Wall is now under threat from climate change. Dr. Andrew Burley, Director of Excavations and Chief Executive of the Vindolanda Trust, stated,
"A lot of the landscapes at Hadrian's Wall are preserved under peat bog and marsh, very wet, very moist ground, which has protected the archaeology for almost 2 millennia. But as global warming takes place, climate change takes place. When that oxygen gets in there, things that are really delicate crack, decay, and are lost forever."
The fort of Vindolanda is currently under threat from the effects of climate change. Archaeologists have explored only a quarter of this site. From the excavations, archaeologists have recovered many artefacts, items such as a handwritten wooden tablet, shoes and clothing, and tools. Through artefacts recovered from Hadrian's Wall, archaeologists are able to reconstruct the life of the Roman people during that time. Over the years, the intricate details of these artefacts were not lost because of the unique characteristic of the peat soils. Approximately 10% of the United Kingdom consists of peatlands. A special type of waterlogged soil, peatlands preserve artefacts because it is highly anaerobic, meaning it contains very little oxygen compared to normal soil. As a result, the organic materials, such as wood and textiles, do not decompose and can be preserved for thousands of years if there is no contamination. The peatlands surrounding Hadrian's Wall are now drying up, which is concerning for archaeologists. When peatlands dry out, the drying soil will be saturated with oxygen, resulting in the rapid decay of organic materials contained in the soil. Archaeologists are aware of the drying peat bog, but without knowing where the artefacts can be found, it is difficult to dig for artefacts and stay ahead of climate changes. In one of the excavations, archaeologists found the world's oldest boxing gloves at the Vindolanda peatland soil next to Hadrian's Wall. This site and another, Fort Magna, located in Carveran, Northumberland, have been found to have soil degradation. Here, archaeologists have discovered the most items from the past of the wall, including the oldest handwritten message and Roman footwear. According to Dr. Burley,
"If we lose places like this, we will lose connection to the people who have lived on that island 2,000 years ago. We would lose the chance of learning about them and learning about history. More importantly, we lose a part of our own heritage and history."
Aside from preserving artefacts, the peatlands also play a special role in lessening the effect of climate change. Covering 3% of global land surfaces, peatlands are found in just about every country. They are a type of wetland that is surrounded by waterlogged conditions year-round. Because of this, dead plants decompose very slowly and accumulate over time to form peat soils. As plants absorb carbon dioxide gas from the atmosphere, the gas remains within plants. However, when plants die in wetlands, the carbon dioxide gas is trapped and cannot be released into the atmosphere, resulting in a cooling effect and lessening the climate crisis. It is known that peatlands contain more than 600 gigatons of carbon, which is approximately 44% of carbon in soil, beyond the limit of stored carbon dioxide in forests. As a consequence, draining peatlands would result in an immense release of carbon dioxide gas, estimated at 1.9 gigatons of CO2 yearly. Even though peatlands are just a small part of Britain's ecology, they have a massive impact in informing us about the history of our predecessors. Archaeologists are racing against time to save as many artefacts as possible as climate change begins affecting the peatlands of Hadrian's Wall. May we all do our part in protecting our life-giving Mother Earth and all the treasures she holds through the planet-stabilizing vegan diet. We thank the archaeologists for their continuous hard work in providing insights into our past, and their efforts in calling attention to the threats endangering our natural landscapes.
All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
The poor goat which eats only grass and leaves suffers the fate of being flayed. What will be the fate of those who eat the goat? Satguru Kabir Sahib Ji, vegetarian.
Magnificent viewers, thank you for your attention and company today. Coming up next is Aardvark people, influential engineers of sub-Saharan Africa, here on Supreme Master Television. May divine light guide you on your spiritual path always.
Peace for Ukraine or you reign.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WAU.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WAU.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WAU.
I nostri programmi sono offerti in molte lingue. Consultate suprememastertv.com/schedule e suprememastertv.com/WAU.